Hello, 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 guys. Good evening, everyone. How is everybody today?
Hi, teacher, very well.
Hello, Maida. Good, that's good to hear. How are you guys? How is everything? What's going on? All good, all great. Yes, guys, all good?
Yes, teacher, everything is good.
Okay, very good.
Yes, teacher.
Great, 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 great. Well, guys, today is Friday, finally. That's pretty exciting for the ones that get to rest on the weekends. It's finally Friday. It's the end of the first week of the cycle. Remember that everything like time flies, and then next Friday, that means in 1 week from today, you guys will be finishing the first cycle of the year. Okay, so time flies, and don't forget to work on the project on the weekends. Take a look at Moodle, and remember to practice for the final test. Okay, on Friday next week is the final tests. Guys, do you have any questions so far related to next week? Or is everything clear? Questions or no questions?
Teacher, one question.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
The Friday we will finish the cycle.
On Friday, yes.
And then the next week we start.
No, you guys have 2 days off.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me open my calendar here. So we are finishing on the 27th, and then that is on Friday next week. Monday and Tuesday, I mean the following Monday and Tuesday, that is January the 30th and the 31st, you guys are free. You have 2 days. 2 days, I mean two, it's like a short break that you guys have in between the cycles. So
Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
we will be starting again, if everything goes well, on February the 1st. That is on Wednesday, February the 1st. And that is the day that we will be starting with the second cycle of the year and third cycle of the program.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
Of course. Okay. Of course, everyone. Okay, guys. Yes, Alejandra? Nope. Aleja activated your mic. Okay. Guys, so I'm going to share my screen. If there are no more questions, then I will start sharing my screen. And this is what we're going to be working on tonight. We're going to begin with a warm-up. It's a game about reported speech. It's a review about reported speech. Then I am sending you a then we're going to be working on the vocabulary in a vocabulary activity. Then I will be sending you to one group activity that it's a creative activity, and this task is graded. Okay, so this task, or the task that we're going to be working on at the end of the session, it's going to be part of the 40%. Okay, so it's important that all of you work actively during that activity. So let's start. Let's get it started. We're going to begin with the game. I will share the link in 1 second. We're going to play Kahoot. It's very short, very easy, just 8 questions related to reported speech. No, I haven't called the attendance. I haven't done the roll call. After the game, we'll do it. Yes, Judy, you're raising your hand.
Yes, teacher. I have a question about the platform.
Mhm.
I would like to know which models
Yeah.
we have to do.
Mhm. We're going to do it today. I mean, we're going to open Moodle, and then I will share with you the activities that you guys should be working on and that are going to be graded for the 10%. Okay. We're going to
Okay,
do,
teacher.
okay, of course. Okay, guys, so please join the game that is about reported speech. Um, I'm going to share the link on the chat as well. Please join. Guys, please join the game. I already sent the link on the chat. Very good, John. Very good, Silvia. Harold. Excellent. Very good.
Profe, ¿dónde está el link para ingresar?
I sent it on the chat. I'll send it again. I'll send it again, okay? It's on the chat, on the Zoom chat. Did you see it?
Yes, teacher, I'm on it.
Okay, excellent. Guys, 10 seconds and we start. 10 seconds. Okay, guys, we're going to see in the third place we have Diana L, second place Gilbert, and then first place we have Harold. Very good, guys. Excellent, excellent. Guys, do you have any questions about this? Oh, I can see that all of you did a pretty good job. All of you, like the majority of you got all the answers correctly or answered the questions correctly. That's good. Do you have any questions about reported speech? Or is everything clear by now? ¿Alguna pregunta, duda sobre reported speech, guys? Hello? Guys, we're in class. Okay. So remember that we are in class and active participation is expected. So I'm asking you if you have any questions about report.
I have a question.
Yes.
When it's past perfect, the reported speech is past perfect too.
Yeah, it doesn't change. So yesterday, you guys were kind of like, well, not all of you, but I received some questions about, like transforming sentences from reported speech to direct speech, which is weird. It's not the way we talk. Do you have your mic on? Okay.
Sorry, teacher. I have a question too.
Yeah. So I will say the next thing and then I will answer all of your questions. Okay. So yesterday, some of you were asking me questions about how to transform a sentence from reported speech to direct speech. That is something that we don't do in real life. It's not something that we do on a daily basis because the way we speak is using active voice, first of all, active voice and direct speech all the time. However, sometimes we need to use reported speech to report what somebody said, right? So it's very easy, reported speech. We said that we just need to do back shift, that is devolvernos, right? Devolvernos un tiempo gramatical. So we were saying if we are talking or if the person is saying something in present simple, and if we want to report what that person said, then we need to use past simple. From present simple, we back shift to past simple. From present continuous, we back shift to past continuous. From present perfect, we back shift to past perfect, and so on. And then from past perfect, we cannot back shift because there is no past of the past perfect. Okay. Yes, Julie, now do you have questions?
Yes, teacher. It is possible to check the last question of the quiz because I'm not very clear about the answer.
In the game that we just did?
Yeah.
Okay, let me open it. And then the very last question?
Yes, just the last question.
Okay, let me see. My library. Okay, this one?
Yes, teacher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is something that you're not very clear about? So here, let me zoom it. The direct speech is, we had done a lot of work that day. Nosotros habíamos hecho mucho trabajo ese día, right? And then the other person is reporting, la otra persona está reportando lo que esa persona dijo. Oh, él dijo, o ellos dijeron que ellos habían hecho mucho trabajo ese día.
But does the subject of the second answer it's good, no? Because
If you are including yourself, then yes. But if you're not including yourself, then you need to say they.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, did I answer your question?
Okay. In this case, we can choose the
Yeah, of
answer B.
course. Yeah, you can choose the second option if you're including yourself in that sentence, but otherwise no, it will sound like weird. Ellos dijeron que nosotros habíamos hecho un buen trabajo ese día si te estás incluyendo, if you're including yourself. Pero si estás diciendo, oh, ellos dijeron que ellos habían hecho un buen trabajo ese día, then the first option. Si te
Okay,
incluyes,
thank
if you
you.
include yourself, yes. Okay.
Thank you, teacher.
Of course. Okay, guys, I'm going to call the attendance. Is there any other question about this? Or is everything clear? Questions?
Teacher, the
Yes.
future is present, yeah?
What do you say, Sarah? Can you repeat your question?
The future. Prepared speech is the present.
Reported speech. So if you're talking in present, or the person is talking in present, and then you are reporting it into speech, in reported speech, you go to the past. If you're using will, si estamos utilizando el will, o la persona indica el will, o sea, futuro, en reported speech utilizamos would, el auxiliar would. Yes, is that your question?
Thank you.
Of course. Okay, so let's call the attendance. Álvarez Becerra Andrés. Andrés Álvarez Becerra. Ayala Viloria Joeli.
Presente.
Good. Vaca Yain Andrea. Andrea Vaca Yain. Andrea Vaca.
Yes, present, teacher.
Good. Cárdenas Flores Gilbert Niger.
I'm here.
Good. Mm. Carrero Bonilla John Hammer. John Hammer, are you here? John Hammer. Okay. Cordero Castellanos Brian Miguel. Brian Miguel. Cordero Castellanos. Córdoba Miranda Stephanie.
Present, teacher.
Durán Ardila Silvia Alejandra.
Present, teacher.
Good. Liscano Ariza Judy Lisette.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Lozada Díaz Diana Lisette.
Hi, teacher, I'm here.
Good. Paredes Marín Luisa Fernanda.
Present, teacher.
Good. Pérez Quintero Luisa Fernanda.
Present, teacher.
Excellent. Pinzona Guillón Jordan Alexis.
Present, teacher.
Excellent. Pérez Quintero Luisa Fernanda. Sorry.
Present.
Sorry. Pinzón Linares Mayra Juliet.
Present, teacher.
Good. Plata Vargas Mayra Alejandra.
Here, teacher.
Excellent. Roballo Mejía Alejandra.
Present, teacher.
Excellent. Rodríguez Llorente Harold David.
Hi, teacher.
Alrighty. Sandoval Miranda Angélica Stephanie.
Present, teacher.
Good. Sierra Jaimes Daniela Fernanda.
Hi, teacher. Present.
Okay, very good. Velasco Velasco Uribe Ana María.
Present, teacher. Hi.
Hello. Vera Peña Jennifer Jimena.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Pérez Ardila Natalie Joana.
Here, teacher.
Good, excellent. And Albarracín Caballero Cristian.
Here.
Okay, excellent. Guys.
Teacher, I'm
Yes.
sorry you need me, but I was in the
Yes.
bathroom, so I'm here.
Okay, good. Yes, I called you like 5 times, but it's okay. Don't worry.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. You're here. Alrighty, very good. We don't have Cordero Castellanos Brian Miguel. No, right? And Andres Alvarez Becerra. He's not in the session. Okay. So we're missing 2 students. Alrighty, very good. Okay, guys, excellent. So we are 9:21 in the session, 20, 22, okay. Alrighty, guys, we're gonna start. We are going to open the book on page 52. I'll share my screen in just 1 second, please. Hold on. No, 52, no. 62 and 63. We're going to be working on page 62 and 63. But before we start working on it, we are going to check this part that we were working on yesterday with the difference between say and tell. So I was checking this part. There is definitely a mistake here. Alguien por ahí me dijo, profe, pero en el ejercicio decía tell jokes y aquí en el ejercicio es say jokes. No, hay un error. There is a mistake. Siempre utilizamos para jokes tell jokes, okay? So now we're going to check this. Vamos a revisar esta tarita that you had from yesterday. Number 5, we did this 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Do you often tell jokes? Can you tell any jokes in English? Do you have an elder brother or sister? Did he or she tell you what to do as a child? Number 3, can you say hello, goodbye, and thank you in 4 different languages? If you hated your friend's hairstyle and she asked your opinion, would you tell her the truth? Now, number 5, can you
Tell me.
Tell me.
Tell me.
Can you tell me something? Tell? Yes, all of you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you tell me something about your last holiday? Very good. Number 6. In your family, do you usually pray
Say,
before meals?
Say a prayer.
say a prayer.
Pray. Yes. Do you usually say a prayer before meals? Excellent. Number 7. Did your teachers in primary school you off a lot?
Tells you, tells you off.
Yes, tell you off. What is the meaning of tell off?
Like grande, like I don't know, regañar.
Very good. Yeah, tell off means regañar.
Argue.
Excellent.
Argue?
Well, not necessarily argue, but like for example, if you are a child and you or not only children, also adults, whenever whenever, let's talk about kids in this case. When kids are misbehaving, that means they are not behaving in the way they are expected to behave in that particular situation. For example, at school, and then they are like, being rude or hitting a classmate or whatever situation it is. And then a teacher usually tells of the kid. That means regañar, reprender no tanto. Well, maybe regañar. So tell of, llamar la atención. That is tell of. Okay, good. So in your family, did your teacher in primary school tell you off a lot? Number 8, if you had a minor car accident and it was your fault, would you sorry to the other driver?
Say sorry.
Say sorry.
Say.
Yes. Would you say sorry to the other driver? Very good. Number 9, can you the difference between British and American English?
Can you tell the difference?
Can you tell? Yeah, can you tell the difference between British and American English? Esto ya
It's
like notice. Can you realize, or can you say or identify the difference between British and American English?
For what word?
What do you say? No. It's an example. Can you tell the difference between British and American
Okay.
English? Yeah. No.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm
But can you?
distracted.
You are
Today.
a little bit. No, it's okay. Don't worry. It's okay. Guys, but can you, in general, can you tell the difference between British and American English or not? Yes, can you tell the difference or not?
Teacher, I guess that the main difference is the accent.
The accent. Grammatically, talking is the same language, right? But in terms of the pronunciation, it's very different. And also in terms of vocabulary and then certain words, it's like in Spanish, we have different words to refer to fruits or people or things in general. And then in another country, it might mean something totally different, or they don't call that particular object the same way that we do. So that could be a difference between American and British. For example, when we say crackers and cookies and things like that in terms of vocabulary. And then in terms of pronunciation, yeah, they're very different. Good. Number 10, if one of your classmates was cheating in a test, would you something to the teacher?
Say something to the teacher.
Say something. Yeah. Would you say something to the teacher? Good. Do you think, number 11, do you think it's always wrong to lies?
Tell lies.
To tell lies. Very good. Do you think it's always wrong to tell lies? When is it acceptable? And number 12, if a homeless person asks you for money, do you usually yes or no?
Say yes or no.
Say yes or no. Very good. Excellent, guys. And then here you had to complete this phrase or add phrases with say and tell to the diagram. Recuerden que aquí este say debería ir aquí en tell. Tell jokes, no en say jokes, but tell jokes. What else would you add here? ¿Qué más añadirían aquí, guys? What else would you add?
I have say something good to me.
Say
Something
something,
good to me.
Okay, very good. Say something good to me. Excellent.
Say goodbye or hello.
Say goodbye, say hello. Excellent. What else?
Say yes or no.
Say yes or no. Yes, excellent.
Say sorry.
Say sorry. Yeah. Anything else?
Say thank you.
Say thank you. Say a prayer. Say a word. Say what else?
Say yes or say
No.
no.
Okay, very good. And what about with tell?
Tell a story.
Tell a story. Yes.
Tell you something.
Tell me or you or tell them something. Tell jokes.
Tell a secret.
Yeah. So here
Tell the truth.
tell the
Tell lies.
truth. Yes. So here we have some more examples. We could say hello, say goodbye, say thank you, say a prayer, say sorry, say something to someone, say yes, say no. And then we tell jokes, tell someone what to do, tell the truth, tell someone something, tell someone of, tell the difference. Tell the difference between this and that, and tell lies. These are just examples of the difference between say and tell. Alrighty, guys. Very good, very good, very good. Great job. And now we are going to continue with the activities that we have planned for today. This is something that you did yesterday with teacher Marilyn. And then today we're going to be working on retelling a story. So we're going to be working on a task and we're going to be doing the preparation and we're going to take a look at the vocabulary. So this is a story. It's a classic ghost story. We're going to look at the pictures and information, and we're going to be answering these questions. So when we take a look at the picture, what comes to your mind before we check the vocabulary or before we check any other piece of information? What comes to your mind when you see this picture?
A different age.
Okay, yes. What else can you?
The 20th century.
Okay, yeah, probably it's a picture. It's an old picture from the 20th century. And then maybe something bad happened because of the man's look. He's
They are looking for something.
yeah.
I would say that is a terror story.
A horror story.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it's a horror story. So now we're going to take a look at this. This is The Open Window by Saki. He's a British, or he was a British writer who is considered a master of the short story. His stories about Edwardian society were witty, mischievous, and sometimes macabre. Okay, guys. So now we are going to check at the meaning of these key phrases that we have here, and then we're going to listen to a story. Okay, so let's see. Number one, to find a body. What is the meaning of to find a body?
Like
We're talking about a murder.
crime.
Yeah, so maybe somebody was missing and then sadly they found the body. Yeah, so after a murder or something. A great tragedy.
Something bad happened, but it was no impact in a good way.
Okay, okay, we'll see. Maybe. To go shooting.
To kill someone with like weapon.
Okay, yeah. Or not necessarily to kill somebody, but maybe to practice or to just start using a gun and then start shooting in a forest or something. To sink in a bug. What is the meaning of to sink in a bug? What is sink and what is bug?
Sí, no es como hundirse.
Hundirse, yes. And what is the meaning of bug?
I don't know.
You don't know. Anybody knows what a bug is?
I search in internet and say that is pantano.
So it's a wet, muddy ground, too soft to so it's water, pantano, but I don't know. It's not just like a river or something, right? It's just like a pile
The
of
bathroom. It says like when a water becomes stuck.
Exactly. When water becomes stuck. To chase someone.
Run after
Run
someone.
after someone. Yes, excellent. Snargling dogs. What is that?
Like dogs that are looking for something.
Dangerous? Like they
Teacher
they
on
beat.
internet say it's make aggressive.
Yeah, so there are dogs that are not in a friendly mood. Maybe they are barking at something or someone that they don't recognize. So that is snarling dogs. They're mad, upset about something. Gruñendo. That will be. To see a ghost. What is that?
When you see something that scare you or that make you, yes, that scare you, right?
Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
No, but I
No.
believe in demons.
Oh, okay. So since now we're going
Me
to
too.
talk about a ghost story, we're talking about a ghost story. It's I wanted to ask you if you believe in ghosts or if you have ever experienced something that is considered to be paranormal or something like that.
Actually, yes,
Yes.
I have.
Oh,
I have.
really?
In 2018, I was in Baupés, in Caruru Baupés, and I had an experience with 42 children, women, yes, who were like, I don't know how to say that in English, poseídas por demonios.
Oh, really?
Yes, like yes, possessed by demons. And it was terrible because, for example, I remember a girl, she was sleeping, like felt asleep. I don't know. Yes, well,
Yeah.
she was sleeping, but suddenly with her hand, she started writing like or to move the hand in order to write. So we give her a pen and paper, and she was sleeping, and she started writing things like, I want to kill them, I
Wow.
want their bodies, so you are not going to know the truth, or those kind of
Of
stuffs.
things.
Other a guy was a completely I don't know how to say tieso,
Yeah.
like stiff, or yes, tight. And it was so terrible because I remember that we touched her body, and we feel like something hard, like a rock. When you touch a rock,
Uh-huh.
it was so scary. And
Oh,
those kind of
wow.
things. Actually, if you look in YouTube, Endemoniados Carurubopes, you are going to watch the videos, and it's so terrible. That
Oh,
was
wow.
a horrible experience.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
the most terrible thing was the place where where they used to sleep. Horrible, completely
Oh,
horrible.
wow.
Okay, and story time ends.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing. That sounds creepy. That sounds so scary. Well, I do believe in ghosts, and I think that I have experienced something in the past when I was living in the United States, and as you know, the houses there are so old, and they were built back in the 19th or 20th century and so on. And then when I was living there, I used to work as a babysitter during the weekends and so on. So then one day I went to babysit two brothers. And then the little kid was just amazing. And then the other kid, he was probably 9 years old at that time. And then he was different. I don't even know how to explain the difference, or how different he was from his little brother. And then I was the parents left because they had a party or something. And and then I remember that we were playing, I was playing with the kids and so on, and then it was bedtime. When I took the kids to bed, the little boy went to sleep right away. And then the other one, the one that I was just telling you he was just a weird kid. I went to his bed and he into his bedroom, and he didn't want to sleep. And I was like, well, maybe you can read a book or something. And then I was sitting in a chair, and then I heard in the bathroom the top was opened. So I went to the bathroom and I closed it. And then I heard footsteps on the ceiling, which I was like, well, maybe it's a cat walking in the ceiling. But then I remembered that you don't see that is not something normal in the United States, to see a homeless or not a homeless cat or a homeless dog, that they're usually in shelters. And then I was like, well, maybe it's something else, or it's just my imagination. I was trying to find an explanation to that. And then I heard the tub open again. And And then I just couldn't be there. So I went downstairs to the first floor to organize the house because we were playing with the kids. So I need to organize the playroom and so on. When I was downstairs, I had this feeling that somebody was staring at me. And I was, like I felt so uncomfortable that I was just like walk around the house because I couldn't sit down. I just couldn't. And I had to FaceTime my mom and talk to her the whole time because it was just something horrible. And then I heard people knocking at a door where nothing was there. It was just like horrible. So now that we're talking about ghosts and experiences, I wanted to share this with you.
Terrible,
Yeah,
teacher.
that was horrible.
And actually being in United States, you're
Mhm.
like, oh my God, what am I
Yeah,
supposed to do right now with this
yeah.
situation?
Uh-huh.
My goodness.
I really wanted to leave that house. I really wanted to take my stuff and then drive home, but I just couldn't. I mean, I was taking care of two kids, and in the United States, that's something very serious. If you are working with kids, that you cannot leave them unattended, or you need to pay attention to them the whole time, because that's, you can get in trouble, you can go to jail. So I was like, yeah, that was something just horrible. And I was like, well, I am the adult, I need to be the adult, and everything is gonna be good, everything is gonna be great, nothing is gonna happen. But it was just the most horrible experience ever. I'm gonna read the chat. Yes.
By chance, you didn't live near the forest?
No. Well, there are houses that are so far away, and I remember that house was far away, and then they had a pool. They had a pool that it was covered because it was winter. And it was so dark outside that I just couldn't take a look outside of that window because I thought I was going to see something, and it was just horrible. And then I remember that when the parents arrived, I was so relieved and happy, and then the parents were, oh, thank you very much, and then they were asking me about everything, and I just wanted to leave, and I said everything was great, thank you very much, now you can pay me and I'll leave. And then like a week later, the same mother texted me and she said, well, we were wondering if you could come and then watch the kids. And then I said, well, thank you very much, but I'm busy.
I'm not available at the moment.
Yeah, I had to tell the lady that I had other things going on and then I couldn't work with them. And then she texted me like 3 weeks later and I said the same thing, like, I'm so sorry, I'm gonna be out of town or something. And then she stopped texting me, thank goodness. But yeah, I was so relieved. Yes, guys, I was.
Teacher,
Oh
but
my
the lady
goodness.
don't say anything about that.
No, she didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. She didn't tell me anything like, oh, there are ghosts here, or be careful because, or if you hear something, then be prepared. No, she didn't say anything. And I used to work as a babysitter, and I used to go to different houses, and I never felt something like that night, because I even used to stay at people's houses for the weekend, taking care of their dogs and so on, and I never felt anything like that. But I think it was that house. I think that house had something there, and then the environment or the feeling or everything was just so different, and it just felt, it gives me chills now when I think about it. It's just horrible. But
It's spooky.
yeah, that was
Oh my
spooky for
goodness.
sure.
Yes.
That was spooky for sure. Okay, guys, let's continue here. A letter of introduction. What do you think a letter of introduction means? A letter of
something that you say to introduce yourself or something like
It could, yeah, that is a letter of introduction. But now we're going to see what this has to do with the story. French windows. Windows that
Like
are
a type of
a
windows?
type of, yeah, it's like a type of windows that is particular from France, maybe. To go insane with grief. What is the meaning of to go insane with grief? Or what do you think it means?
Can you tell us what is the meaning of grief?
Grief is like pain, and yeah, it's like pain.
Is when
but
you
it's
when
depends
When
when
you drive
someone's dying
crazy?
or
Yeah.
you
Sorry?
yes, when you drive.
Yeah. To go insane with grief. Yeah, to drive yourself crazy, and it's a bad thing with a lot of pain. A cure for bad nerves.
Maybe a medicine to get
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, or like water with a plant or with sugar for you to calm
Yes,
down.
actually yesterday
Like
I had
aromática.
to
Yes,
try it.
aromática. Oh yeah.
Water with sugar. Yes.
Yeah,
That
and
worked.
did you feel better after that?
Ah, completely.
Completely.
Thank you,
Okay,
teacher.
very good.
Yes,
Okay, of
absolutely.
course. Good, good, good. Um, to have a bad nervous breakdown. What is a nervous breakdown?
To experience a mental illness in which ¿cómo es que es? Someone becomes extremely anxious, yes, and cannot deal with the things they usually would.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. And the last one, to knock someone off their bicycle.
It's like pushing someone.
Yeah, like pushing someone and then causing them to have an accident. Very good. Okay, guys, we are going to listen to the first part of the ghost story, and we're going to see which questions can you answer, and then we're going to compare your answers with the group. Okay, so the first question is, why was Frampton staying in the countryside? Why was he visiting Mrs. Sapleton? Who entertained him while he was waiting for Mrs. Sapleton? What terrible tragedy did Vera tell him about? How did she describe it? What did Mrs. Sapleton believe about the tragedy? And then number 6, what did she say when she came into the room? So we're going to listen to a story, the first part, and we're going to see if we can answer all of these questions after we hear the recording, or if we can just answer a couple of them. Okay, is it clear what we're going to do?
Teacher,
Yes, it
sorry, can you
is.
repeat, please?
Yeah, of course. So we are going to listen to the recording, and then here we have some questions. We have 6 questions. And then it says, which questions can you answer? Because we're only going to hear the first part. We're only going to listen to the first part of the ghost story. So we are going to see if after we listen to the story, we can answer all of the 6 questions, or if we can only answer the first and the second and the third, or all of them. Okay, so we're going to see if we can answer the questions. Okay, guys, so let's listen. You can take notes. Okay, you can take notes while you listen, because I think this is like a 3-minute recording so that you don't forget anything.
Unit 6, Recording 5. Part 1. My aunt will be here soon, Mr. Nuttall, said a self-confident young lady of 15. Until then, I'm afraid, you have me. Frampton Nuttall tried to say something polite. Privately, he was wondering whether this visit to total strangers would really help to cure his bad nerves, as his sister had hoped. I know what will happen, his sister had said, as he was leaving for his rest cure in the country. You will never meet or speak to anyone, and your nerves will be worse than ever. So, I'm going to give you letters of introduction to all the people I know there. Do you know many people round here? Asked the niece after a silence. Hardly anyone, said Frampton. Then you know nothing about my aunt and her great tragedy, continued the self-confident young lady. Her tragedy? Asked Frampton. Yes. You may wonder why we keep the windows open in October, she said, pointing towards the large French windows that opened onto the garden. It's quite warm for the time of year, but has the window got anything to do with the tragedy? Asked Frampton. Out through that window, exactly 3 years ago today, my aunt's husband and her 2 younger brothers went off for a day's shooting. They never came back. All 3 sank in a terrible bog. We never found their bodies. That was the worst thing. Here, the girl's voice lost its confidence. Poor aunt thinks that they will come back some day. She believes they will walk in through that door with their little brown dog, just as they used to. That's why we have the door open every evening. Poor dear aunt. She has often told me how they went out. Her husband was carrying his white coat over his arm, and her brother Ronnie was singing. Do you know, sometimes on a quiet evening like this, I have the strangest feeling that they will walk in through that window. Frampton felt relieved when at last her aunt came into the room. I hope Vera has been amusing you, she said. She's been very interesting, said Frampton. I hope you don't mind the open window, said Mrs. Sappleton. My husband and brothers will be home soon from shooting, and they always come in this way.
Okay, guys, do you need to listen to it again?
Yes.
Yes, teacher, please.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's listen to it again.
Unit 6, Recording 5. Part 1. My aunt will be here soon, Mr. Nuttall, said a self-confident young lady of 15. Until then, I'm afraid, you have me. Frampton Nuttall tried to say something polite. Privately, he was wondering whether this visit to total strangers would really help to cure his bad nerves, as his sister had hoped. I know what will happen, his sister had said, as he was leaving for his rest cure in the country. You will never meet or speak to anyone, and your nerves will be worse than ever. So, I'm going to give you letters of introduction to all the people I know there. Do you know many people round here? Asked the niece after a silence. Hardly anyone, said Frampton. Then you know nothing about my aunt and her great tragedy, continued the self-confident young lady. Her tragedy? Asked Frampton. Yes. You may wonder why we keep the windows open in October, she said, pointing towards the large French windows that opened onto the garden. It's quite warm for the time of year, but has the window got anything to do with the tragedy? Asked Frampton. Out through that window, exactly 3 years ago today, my aunt's husband and her 2 younger brothers went off for a day's shooting. They never came back. All three sank in a terrible bog. We never found their bodies. That was the worst thing. Here, the girl's voice lost its confidence. Poor aunt thinks that they will come back some day. She believes they will walk in through that door with their little brown dog, just as they used to. That's why we have the door open every evening. Poor dear aunt. She has often told me how they went out. Her husband was carrying his white coat over his arm, and her brother Ronnie was singing. Do you know, sometimes on a quiet evening like this, I have the strangest feeling that they will walk in through that window. Frampton felt relieved when at last her aunt came into the room. I hope Vera has been amusing you, she said. She's been very interesting, said Frampton. I hope you don't mind the open window, said Mrs. Sappleton. My husband and brothers will be home soon from shooting, and they always come in this way.
Oh my goodness.
OMG.
The final part of the story
Yeah,
is so
creepy.
so creepy, so spooky. My goodness.
Right. Because you think that the lady, she's like a normal person, and then you're like, oh no, this is not good. So guys, what did you understand from this story? What do you understand from it?
I understand that the young lady is a ghost.
You think that the young lady is a ghost?
Maybe, I'm not sure, but I think.
Well, this is just one part of the story. We don't know, or we don't have more information about it, just this. But what did you understand? So what happened? What happened, or what is behind that story? What happened in the window, or what happened to these three guys here?
What I understood is that I'm not sure if they were three, but well, the thing is that they went off like I don't know how to say, like shooting, like cazar,
Yeah.
shooting animals, something like that.
Yeah, they went
And
shooting. They went shooting.
yes, and they maybe they died. What I understand in the word that we were learning from the vocabulary in a snack. What was that word? In a snack book, or they
Yeah.
snack book.
A song.
Yes.
Book.
Yes, they die. The thing is that they die, and I cannot remember more. The thing is that story is so
Their
creepy.
bodies never found.
They never found, yeah, exactly, Stephanie. They never found their bodies. And then what did the lady or the girl tell the man about the French window and so on? What did she say?
And that the window was always, oh yes, was always open, because someone believed, or used to believe that that people, or those people were going to
Come back.
return, yes, to
Yeah,
come back
return. Yeah.
through the window. And she said like sometimes at night she feels like
That they're coming.
they are coming, yes, they are coming
Yeah.
back through the window.
And then what did the lady say at the end?
they come back.
Yeah, so she said, oh, I hope you don't mind that we have the window opened. It's because they're coming soon or something. And then, yeah, and then she's waiting for them. Maybe she doesn't know that or she's crazy. And she doesn't realize that they are dead, but she still waits for them every day. That's creepy. Okay, guys. Now we are going to listen to the second part of the story. And then we're going to finish with a writing activity, okay? So we're going to listen to the second part and we're going to answer the questions. Did Mrs. Appleton listen carefully to Frampton? Why or why not? What exactly did they see in the garden? Why did Frampton run away? What did Mrs. Appleton tell her husband about Frampton Nuttall? How did Vera explain Frampton's behavior? And what was Vera's specialty? Give 2 examples. So now we're going to listen to the rest of the story.
Unit 6, Recording 6. Part 2. She continued to chat happily about shooting. To Frampton, it was all absolutely horrible. Attempting to change the subject, he told them about his illness. The doctors have told me to have complete rest, with no excitement at all, explained Frampton. Really? Said Mrs. Sappleton, but she was not paying attention. Her eyes were staring past him to the open window and garden beyond. Suddenly, she jumped up. Here they are at last, she said, just in time for tea. Frampton shivered and looked at the niece with sympathy. The young girl was staring out through the window with a look of pure horror in her eyes. In a cold shock of fear, Frampton turned round and looked in the same direction. In the twilight, 3 figures were walking across the garden towards the window. They were all carrying guns under their arms, and one of them also had a white coat over his shoulders. A tired brown dog was walking close to them. As the figures came nearer to the house, a young voice began to sing. Frampton grabbed his hat wildly and ran out through the hall door, across the front garden and through the front gate. Outside in the road, he almost knocked a man off his bicycle in his terrible panic. Here we are, my dear, said the man carrying the white coat as he came in through the window. Who was that who ran out as we came in? A very strange man, a Mr. Nuttall, said Mrs. Sappleton. He could only talk about his illnesses, and then he ran off without saying goodbye when you arrived. It was as if he had seen a ghost. I expect it was the dog, said the niece calmly. He told me he had a terrible fear of dogs. A pack of wild dogs once chased him on the banks of the river Ganges in India, and he hid all night with the dogs snarling just above him. It's enough to make anyone suffer with their nerves. Telling stories at short notice was her speciality.
Okay, do you need to listen to it again?
Yes, teacher, please.
Okay.
Unit 6, Recording 6. Part 2. She continued to chat happily about shooting. To Frampton, it was all absolutely horrible. Attempting to change the subject, he told them about his illness. The doctors have told me to have complete rest, with no excitement at all, explained Frampton. Really? Said Mrs. Sappleton, but she was not paying attention. Her eyes were staring past him to the open window and garden beyond. Suddenly, she jumped up. Here they are at last, she said, just in time for tea. Frampton shivered and looked at the niece with sympathy. The young girl was staring out through the window with a look of pure horror in her eyes. In a cold shock of fear, Frampton turned round and looked in the same direction. In the twilight, 3 figures were walking across the garden towards the window. They were all carrying guns under their arms, and one of them also had a white coat over his shoulders. A tired brown dog was walking close to them. As the figures came nearer to the house, a young voice began to sing. Frampton grabbed his hat wildly and ran out through the hall door, across the front garden and through the front gate. Outside in the road, he almost knocked a man off his bicycle in his terrible panic. Here we are, my dear, said the man carrying the white coat as he came in through the window. Who was that who ran out as we came in? A very strange man, a Mr. Nuttall, said Mrs. Sappleton. He could only talk about his illnesses, and then he ran off without saying goodbye when you arrived. It was as if he had seen a ghost. I expect it was the dog, said the niece calmly. He told me he had a terrible fear of dogs. A pack of wild dogs once chased him on the banks of the river Ganges in India, and he hid all night with the dogs snarling just above him. It's enough to make anyone suffer with their nerves. Telling stories at short notice was her speciality.
Okay, guys, so what happened? What happened in the second part of the story?
I didn't understand.
There
Did-
isn't a ghost.
They
Yeah.
didn't come to the house.
It was the nice. It's a liar telling a story.
Yeah, probably, because look at this question. Look at the following part. It says, is it really a ghost story? Why not? Do you like the story? Why not? So maybe she is a liar. Maybe she's a liar and they are not dead. So at the beginning, she said that they passed away and then that they never found bodies, which makes sense. It makes sense because they walked by, they arrived, and they looked pretty normal, and they were just talking and so on. So maybe this girl was making that story up. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Teacher, I got a question.
Yes.
I don't understand why, or I don't understand if that young lady is the Frampton Nodal niece.
Mm-hmm.
Is she?
She is the niece, her niece.
Her niece, but not the Frampton Noodles
No.
niece.
No.
He
was just visiting. He was just visiting.
Okay, I got it. I was confused because I thought he was her uncle, and well, I was wondering, so well, if she is his niece, why Well, anyways, I
Okay.
understand.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird story because there are a lot of things going on. But let's go here to the first question. Did Mrs. Sappleton listen carefully to Frampton? Why not? What was he talking about at the very first beginning of the story? Did she pay attention to what he was saying or not?
No, because she was staring at the window,
Yeah, she
waiting for
was not
them.
paying it. Yes. So she was not paying attention. Well, at the beginning, he said that he has an illness and that he cannot have very strong, like strong feelings or something, because the doctors advised him to stay calm and so on. But she wasn't paying attention because she was staring at the window. And then what did she do? While we were walking by. Did you hear that part? Well,
When in there?
Yeah, in the story, when she saw that they were walking, or they were approaching the house, she looked at the window. In what way?
Right?
In
the same way to the other woman?
She had a horror in her eye. That is what the story said. She was like, oh, they're coming. And then when she looked out of the window, she had a horror in her eye. And then they came in, and then what happened? What did he do?
What?
Just time
He or she?
He. What happened?
Run away.
He ran away. He
Yes,
ran
ran away.
away.
Yes.
He ran away.
He grabbed his hat.
His hat. And he ran
And
away.
ran.
He didn't even say goodbye or anything. He was freaking out and he ran away. What did Mrs. Sappleton tell her husband about Frampton Nuttall? What did she say?
That he was a strange man.
A strange man, yeah. That he came home and he couldn't stop talking about his illnesses, right? And then he ran away and he didn't even say goodbye. Now, guys, what was Vera's specialty?
Who is
Telling
Vera?
stories.
Yes. So now, do you think this is a ghost story, like a real ghost story?
No,
No.
it isn't.
No, I don't think so. Maybe she was just
about
making that
lies.
up. Maybe this girl just wanted to she just wanted to scare the guy, and then he believed in everything she said, and maybe he thought that she was crazy, and then they were ghosts and so on. Okay, guys, now you are going to do the following exercise, and then we finish with this first part of the class. It says, either write a story of the open window from the point of one of the other characters, either him or her, or one of these guys here. Or you're going to write a ghost story of your own. Either one that you know or one that you have invented yourself. You can make that up. Se la pueden inventar.
But real house story, or
a
like
ghost
the
story.
story of the open window.
Well,
Is that
whatever
right?
you choose, because it says either write a story. Aquí dice, puede que escriban, bien sea the write a story or one of your own. Pueden escribir el final o una historia teniendo en cuenta como si ustedes fueran alguno de estos tres, right? One of these three, como de su punto de vista. or you can write a ghost story of your own, either one you know or one that you have invented yourself. You need to think about when to start the story, how to describe the setting and give a background. For example, if it was in a forest or in an abandoned house or in a farm or in a cemetery, whatever background that you want to write about. How to describe the main events. So you need to think about it and organize your ideas in a logical way that is easy to understand, that is easy to follow. How people felt, how you felt if you are involved in the story, or people that you heard. For example, if you're going to tell a story about your grandparents, something that happened to them, so you need to describe how they felt and what happened in the end, okay? You can use that useful language here to start the story. So the story happened about 100 years ago or 20 years ago, or yeah, when it happened. Where, so in my house or in a farm or in the place that it happened. Or you can say one day or while. Well, start the story like this, and then you can use this useful language to explain what happened and then to end the story, okay? I'm going to send you to the groups because you're going to work in groups. And then you can write one of these stories down. For example, you can share your experiences. You can say, okay, have you ever experienced something paranormal, or have you ever seen a ghost? And then you can exchange your stories, and then you're going to choose one of the stories and you're going to write it down, okay? Just one story. I'm going to send you to the groups, and then you're going to have 15 minutes to work on that activity. This activity is graded. Esta actividad va a tener calificación, okay? So I am going to share the folder where you guys are going to work on it, okay? Just give me 1 second. Is it clear what we're going to do?
Teacher, I got a
teacher.
question.
Mhm.
Is it a story per group?
Yeah, just one story per group.
Okay, because I have a bandaged hand and I cannot type in my computer.
So maybe your partners can do it for you. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. So that's why we're gonna be working in groups. And then you can interact with each other and you can give ideas and write that down. Somebody was also saying something. Sorry, I couldn't hear. No?
No, teacher, sorry. Now everything is clear. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So guys, this is the folder that I shared with you the other day at the beginning. This is the folder where I upload the activities and so on. So let me share the link again. Good. Here it says creative writing. You are going to descargar, right? Lo descargan. And then lo suben. ¿Listo? Subir archivo. Conservar ambos archivos, right? Esta es como la guía que yo les doy. Y la que le cambian el nombre. So rename it, and then you say, escriben el nombre de los participantes. So Alejandra, complete name, or the first name. Aquí solamente el primer nombre. Alejandra, John, and Luisa, for example. So you write John, Alejandra, and Luisa. Here. And then here, guys, you need to write your full names. Nombres completos aquí sí, ¿ok? Porque puede que haya varias John, varias Luisas, and so on. So, para yo saber quiénes trabajaron en la actividad. And then you're going to give it a title, lean un título, you're going to give it a title, and you tell the story. It doesn't have to be a long story because we don't have that much time, no tenemos mucho tiempo. So you're gonna have probably like 12 or 13 minutes. And you're gonna be working in groups of 4 or 5 people, okay? Is it clear, guys, what we're going to do?
Teacher, how many words have the story?
There is no mixing. There is no a maximum or minimum number, but it doesn't have to be a long story. Okay, don't worry. It doesn't have to be like the longest story because we don't have that much time. So I'm going to send you to the groups. ¿Alguien que esté conectado doble? Nope. Okay. Now, Andres Alvarez Becerra, you're here, right?
Yes, teacher.
And then Brian. Brian is also here. Okay, good. Excellent, guys. Now I'm going to send you to the groups. And then we finish. Con eso terminamos. I'm gonna be grading that over the weekend. El fin de semana lo voy revisando y les doy dando el feedback. So I'm going to send you to the groups. Please join. You can share a screen. Uno por grupo comparte pantalla, okay? You can share your screen.
Teacher, we didn't finish.
Okay, guys, if you didn't finish, don't worry. I'm not going to grade that tonight. You can work on it during the weekend. But you need to finish the activity, okay? Si no alcanzaron a terminarla ahorita, no se preocupen, tienen el fin de semana para trabajar en ella, ¿listo? Guys, otra cosita, y ahorita ingresar a Moodle. Sin embargo, tengo un problema con mi cuenta, debo reportarla al ingeniero encargado de Moodle. Les iba a mostrar como las actividades que íbamos a calificar para el 10%. Entonces, vamos a trabajar las unidades. Recordemos que para este ciclo trabajamos 5, 6, 7 y 8. Entonces, vamos a hacer las unidades de las primeras 2 de cada unidad. ¿Listo? Las primeras 2. Cada unidad trae varias actividades. Trae actividades de listening, de reading, de writing y demás. Pero vamos a calificar las primeras 2 de cada unidad. ¿Listo? Si pueden hacer más, maravilloso, wonderful. Pero al menos las 2 primeritas. ¿Listo, chicos? Como para que puedan reforzar de cada una de estas unidades los temitas.
¿Y cuáles unidades, profe?
5, 6, 7 y 8. 5, 6, 7 and 8. ¿Ok?
Listo.
Profesor, ya dice que la 0 era mejor hacerlo.
La
Profe,
0 es para los que son nuevos en Moodle, porque es que la 0 les dice como todo lo que tienen que saber para trabajar en Moodle, porque Moodle es cansón con las mayúsculas, con las comas, con los puntos y demás. Entonces, pueden hacer la 0, pero la 0 no tiene porcentaje o no les va a restar de su nota. ¿Listo? La pueden hacer. Yes, Angélica, you're raising your hand.
Teacher, ¿podría recordar las unidades que hay que...
Yes, para nosotros este ciclo vamos a trabajar units 5, 6, 7 and 8. 5, 6, 7 y 8.
Pregunta.
Yes.
Lo que entendí
Son las
es
que
que en el Moodle tenemos que hacer los 2 primeros ejercicios de cada
los 2
unidad.
primeros ejercicios. Ajá, los 2 primeros
De cada
ejercicios de cada unidad. De la unidad que
¿Pero
nos
para la próxima semana o para concluir?
Sí, esos son para la próxima semana. Esos son para la próxima semana. Antes del viernes ya deben estar listos. ¿Listo, chicos? Antes del viernes. Porque el viernes
Profe, y
terminamos.
los nuevos hacemos de la 0 y luego nos saltamos a las 5. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Los que les aparezca matriculado para este ciclo.
A mí no me aparece el 0.
¿No te aparece el 0? Sí, ahí aparece uno que dice introduction o introductory. Les iba a compartir pantalla, pero no sé por qué no me deja ingresar. Sí me aparecían los cursos antes y ahorita ya no me aparece, entonces debo enviar un correíto al ingeniero encargado. Yo espero que el lunes ya tenga nuevamente el acceso y si hay preguntas sobre Moodle, compartimos pantallita y aclaramos. ¿Listo, chicos? Thank you very much for joining. Váyanse a descansar 8 minuticos y ya a las 8 se unen con la profe, que sigue. ¿Listo? Con la profe, ¿qué me fue el nombre?
Marilyn.
Marilyn, Dios mío.
Bye, teacher.
Bye, teacher. See
Bye,
you.
guys.
Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend. See you on Monday,
Bye.
guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Teacher,
Take care.
bye.
Bye.
Bye, teacher.